Well, we've got 100 manufacturers here in Leeds today, making the point that Leeds City Region is the biggest manufacturing centre outside London and the potential powerhouse of the recovery in the north of England. And we've got world-leading companies here today, Siemens, Surgical Innovations and others, telling the story of how they've been successful and what needs to change. So it's been a really interesting morning.
I was delighted that one of the questions was on linking innovation to manufacturing, what government could do in terms of stimulus, and that we could talk about R&D tax credits, the patent box. And we all know that if manufacturing companies to survive, they have to innovate, they have to add value to the process. So I think that came out loud and strong.
In terms of obstacles for manufacturing, I think there's quite a number, but just to comment on a couple of them. One is definitely availability of finance. So, really getting banks more interested in lending to high risk, to capital intensive industries. So I think a lot more needs to be done. I think one of the potential answers there is a more public sector focused bank, and for example the Green Investment Bank, which I know that Leeds is making quite a strong play for in terms of hosting that bank. I think that's going to be a very supportive initiative.
I'm not a great proponent of government aid. I am very passionate about having the right skills in the country and having the right education system and actually having the right financial environment where if you've got a good product idea, you can raise capital and get behind it. So if government can help in those areas, fantastic.
We are a very short-term country. Everything is very short-term. So in reality, what are you going to be doing in the next 3 months? What are you going to be doing in the next 6 months? How quickly is your business going to get from A to B? And for manufacturing, A to B is a very long journey. They've got to invest, they've got to find customers, they've got to develop the product, they innovate, they grow. You've got to take a 5 to 10 year perspective on that. So I encourage Santander and the people within Santander to look at a business over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years, not over the next 5 months or the next 10 months. And if the banking industry could take more of a long-term perspective and invest alongside equity and mezzanine in securing the long-term future of a business, then actually I think the UK stands a good chance of catching up on maybe some of its stronger European peers such as Germany.